Hey everybody, this is Kenny Cummins here. Chilling with Kenny C right here on TMV Cafe. Hope everybody is enjoying themselves. I'm joined with a guest that hasn't been on the show for quite some time. She's gone through some revamping of sorts. She's under a different name, and has put out some music under her new name, and she has her upcoming full-length project under the name this coming week, this coming Friday, actually. Excited to be joined with Miss Laurel Lewis. She's with me right now. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Thanks for having me.
Great to chat with you. And before we get to catching up with you on some things, I ran into you recently. You was at the Aircorn Tavern, did an acoustic set. You did some old tunes. You did some new tunes.
Yeah,
And when I noticed the name Lewis, I know of Madison Lewis. I'm like, wait a minute, where is she? Now, oh, that's the same person. Yeah.
same person. Just did a little bit of revamping in 2021 when I switched my name to Laurel Lewis instead of Madison.
So, how's everything? How you feeling about this new music that you've been working on through this revamping you've been going through?
I feel so blessed right now in this chapter of my life. I'm feeling great about a lot of things. And this album that's dropping this Friday, August 2nd, I can't wait for everyone to hear it. Just to kind of backtrack a little bit, I changed my name from Madison to Laurel Lewis in May of 2021, I believe, when I was working on a different project that ended up not being released because I met a producer, which I'm sure we'll talk more about. I met a producer that I had admired for my whole life. I don't know what that was. Oh my gosh, sorry, my friend is here.
So
I think
good.
her computer fell off my couch. anyways, um, anyways, I met with this producer and I met him at a songwriting camp that he does. And yeah, sorry. Um, I met him at a songwriting camp and I didn't think much of it. I thought I was just here to learn. I was just here to network and, work on better songs. And 3 days later, he emailed me and was like, "You are as good of a songwriter as you are a performer, and I want to know more about what you're up to." And that's how it happened, really. So we recorded this project in December of 2022. So yeah, it's been a minute since we recorded it, but now we're here. It's coming out on Friday. I've had 3 singles come out, and it has been really great.
That's definitely good to hear. I love the Hotel Boss Soap. That came out
Oh
around
yeah.
2022. And then you mentioned the three singles, Imaginary Lover, If You Want to Move On, and your recently released Room Without a View.
Yes.
I think I played all three of those songs this year already. So it's one thing I admire is the combination of Americana and some Southern soul.
Yeah.
So I seen that's how you describe your music. If you look through Laurel Lewis on all the social media platforms, that's how you best describe it. I've grown to love Americana music probably for the last 5, 6 years because
Yeah.
I've been around local artists that has some Americana influence. So people are aware of country, people are aware of folk, people are aware of bluegrass. Americana, it's a unique genre. It's like people try to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
From your perspective, how would you best describe Americana? What makes it different for some of the other genres that I mentioned?
Um, I would say Americana. is really about stories and storytelling, you know, and not shying away from tough subjects, at least in my opinion, because that's how I've always felt with Americana. At least my favorite artists that are Americana, you know, it's raw, it's authentic, and you know, we're just telling it like it is. And also it incorporates a lot of I feel like hometown pride is a big thing. And you know, like just to go back to my producer, he's from Texas, and he talks about that a lot in his songs, and it's something very powerful that a lot of people, even if you're not from there, you understand, you know, which is why one of the I just love his music so much. And that's a big thing with me is I, you know, grew up in Eastern Kentucky, and a lot of there's a lot of tough subjects on this upcoming record, but I'm not afraid to talk about it. And that's Americana, that's Southern soul. And country and folk are still, you know, very intertwined with Americana, but I'm definitely not for anybody who doesn't is unfamiliar with my music. I'm definitely not very commercial country. I still have a lot of classic country influences, but Americana is where I like to land.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about Americana is the subject matter.
Yeah.
Not there's not much boppy. It's not much like partying going, having a
Yeah.
good time type of ordeal. It's hardships, it's love, it's adversity, is captivating per se. It's one of those things like you really got here, and then you combine that with Southern Soul from your side. You definitely got some soul, my sister. You really do.
Yeah.
And I saw it at the Bird years ago, and then I saw it, and I was with a full length band, from my understanding. I think it was you, Wayne Sinclair, and someone else at the Burr years back.
Hmm.
And I see you acoustic, and you know, just it continues to grow on me to this very day musically. So
Yeah.
so if you want that feel good, if you want that heartbreak, if you want that storytelling, compelling, authentic, Americana is definitely where to go. And you know, some of the mainstream artists may have some Americana, but then there's artists like you that's like through and through Americana. And I'm excited about your full length project, which is coming out this coming Friday,
Yeah.
August the 2nd.
Hmm.
And you mentioned the producer, Mr. Rodney
Right.
Coral, Mr. Rodney Crown.
Mhm.
You worked with him, and this entire project is actually produced by him. So, with that being said, talk about working with him on this project, seeing you grow and evolve through this process. To talk about working with Rodney, what was it like working with him for this project?
I'll be honest, it was intimidating for sure. Because, like I said, you know, when I, you know, went to his songwriting camp, I did not expect to ever work with him on a record. I just wanted to be in his presence, and I just wanted to learn from one of the greatest that's ever done it in Americana music. So working with him was very intimidating. And it took a while for us to really get in the studio, honestly. You know, I would go over to his house and we would hang out and we would, you know, collaborate, share songs with each other. And, you know, we became friends. So that helped with it being less intimidating for sure. And then we finally got into the studio. And I mean, that's when the intimidation once again was like, whew, okay, this we're doing this, you know. These are songs that I've written in my bedroom a few years ago, and he helped me. Could he? We did co-write on a few, but I went in there, and the way he kind of set it up was he had this incredible group of musicians that were working with me on this project, and he was like, all right, play the song how you wrote it. And I would do it. I would sit there with my acoustic guitar and everyone would listen and they'd make charts and we'd go for it. We'd do a few takes and that's that. So it's very just, it just came together so smoothly. So, and he was always there to help when I needed advice or had questions about how the process was, anything like that. He was there for me and he still is to this day. So being in the studio, it went from quickly went from being intimidating to very comfortable, and I didn't want it to end. I was like, are we really done now? So yeah, it was an incredible experience for sure.
So how many songs that y'all did together for this project?
There will be 9 songs on this record.
Gotcha. So what's the title of the album?
It's self-titled. It's going to be called Laurel Lewis.
All right, self-titled, all revamping everything. Rodney not only producing, but Cole Witten some of the tracks. So self-titled from Laurel Lewis this Friday. So be on the lookout for it. So let's dive in some of these songs
Yeah.
that you put out, and I want to start off with "Imaginary Lover." Talk about that, how that came about.
Yeah, so Imaginary Lover is one of the first songs I wrote for this project, which I actually didn't think it would be on this project because I wrote that song in early 2021. Like I'm talking like almost like New Year's Day 2021. And I was working on a different project at the time, the one I had mentioned earlier that didn't end up coming out. I was trying to finish that record and I ended up writing Imaginary Lover, and I was like, this is special. This is a special song. I wanted it to be a timeless piece on a woman's experience of not having a real lover in time, but instead having this imaginary lover. I mean, if you look at the choruses, the imaginary lover buys your drinks and lets you go on being you, holds your bags and lets you go on being you. They're probably not going to change a thing because that imaginary lover is there for him. So that's where that song came from. And I kind of knew from the beginning that that would be the first single. And I actually released it on May 24th, which is my mom's birthday. So I thought that was fun. But yeah, that's how Imaginary Lover happened. I was just in my bedroom as I did and as I do. And I will just get inspiration and I'll be like, hold on. I'm going to get up out of bed. I'm going to start writing. I need to go get my guitar. And this is what's going to happen, y'all. So that's what I did.
So that's "Imaginary Lover."
Yes.
Definitely relationship feel to it. And that was one of the songs that I did get to hear you perform at Aircorn Tavern.
Yeah.
So that was it's something about when you write songs and you see it put together, produced, mixed, mastered, and everything, and then you go on to perform it in front of a crowd, get the feel for it, see how people interact to it. So, yeah, that's satisfying for an artist, like seeing the song came from and to see it like your story out there. So, um, I love the acoustic shows. I love those type of shows when it's like people just all next to each other and hearing these songs. So I love shows like the acoustic shows. It's very captivating.
Yeah, those are some of
Um,
my favorites to do. I've been doing a lot of acoustic shows lately. I mean, pretty much entirely. And I feel so comfortable and I love specifically the listening room type environments when people are there to listen, they're there to hear the songs and, you know, ask me questions afterwards, be like, where'd that come from? Those are my favorite types of things.
yeah. So the next single you put out is "If You Want to Move On."
Mhm.
That seems very self-explanatory,
Yeah.
unless you listen to the song yourself. Talk about that song.
Yeah, so that song was actually from Rodney. He was like, "Hey, you know, we've got great songs on here. We've got, I think at that point, yeah, we had most of what we were going to do on the record. We were still a little unsure about everything, but he kind of just threw up the idea one day. He's like, "Hey, you want to record this song that I've got?" And I was like, "Of course I do." I listened to it and I was like, "This is cool." And I was able to like put my own vocal take and spin on it and everything. So it was a really fun collaborative project with Rodney on that song when he brought it in and was like, "I think this would work really well for you." And it was challenging for me. That song that like it really, I feel like, pushed the limits and boundaries of what I typically have been doing with my voice lately. Like there's a high note at the end, and I do some harmony with that's really up there. But it was so much fun because in the studio I was like, I don't think I can do this. And he's like, yeah, you can. And it just like flat out, yeah, you can. And then I did it and he's like, what did I tell you? So it was really fun to record and I really like that song and I'm so glad that he brought it my way.
So, to use a sports analogy, producer in Watney's case, he's like a coach
Yeah.
and instead of giving you the play, how to execute. And sometimes you want to, can I do this? Definitely encourage you and say, hey, you can do it. You can do it.
Yes.
So
100%.
that's definitely one thing I noticed from what you've said about Watney, what he's meant to you as a fellow artist and the producer himself, having that chemistry, having that camaraderie between the two. And definitely for anyone that's followed your career since the beginning and seeing how far you've come since then, I definitely noticed a lot of growth
Yeah.
from you. So I like Madison Lewis. I want to hear more. I want to hear more. And now we hear it more, and you have revamped and everything. So um, yeah, I definitely dig that tune as well, and hearing Rodney's contributions to that particular song. Um, that's uh, that's a job well done right there.
Yeah, for
That's a
sure.
job well done. So, and for your latest single, which was came out less than 2 weeks ago, "Room Without a View." Talk about that.
Yeah, so Room Without a View, July 19th is when that one came out. So yeah, not long ago at all. I actually first came up with the idea for Room Without a View at the songwriting camp. And I was just kind of, I didn't really have music to it yet, but I was like, I want to do some sort of like cowboy bar song, something cool, So I was working on choruses and, just writing down ideas in class there. And then I finally put some music to it. And Rodney helped me finish the song lyrically. And it is just, I just feel it's so outstanding. And I think it's just very, very well written. And I'm so proud of that song. I'm so proud of the way that things just came to be with that song. And it was the first one that we recorded for the album. That we did that one first because I felt so comfortable and confident with that one. And it was just an absolute delight to record, to work on, and it's definitely one of my favorites.
Okay, got even with the storytelling and the compelling stuff, that's a fun tune. That's
Yeah.
definitely a fun tune. You know, crank this up in the bar somewhere.
Yeah, I mean it's
Mhm.
sad, but I mean
Yeah,
it makes you think, but you're
yeah,
like my hope at the end that people are like, "Wow, I get it, man." Like even if I don't, I do.
absolutely. So, self-titled record from Laurel Lewis is coming out on all the streaming platforms this Friday. You can pre-save it if you haven't already. That helps with the numbers and stuff. Like helps, especially Spotify addict like myself. So go check it out. Shout out to Rodney for his contributions to this record. So, are you gonna do any? You got any shows? You gonna have an album release show for this, or what do you have on the horizon as far as shows and performances?
I don't have an album release show planned for this record. Because now that I live in Nashville, things are different from the last time we talked. I was in Kentucky still, and now that I'm down here, I'm still, finding my footing and just working and not exact. I mean, and I don't know where I would do an album release show, and that's the thing. There's so many cool venues down here. I don't know where I'd do it. But anyways, in terms of shows, I'm actually doing quite a few coming up. I've got in September, pretty much the whole month of September, I am busy, booked and busy. I've got shows in Maine, I've got shows in Massachusetts and North Carolina, and then I've got a couple in Kentucky. One of them at the Chicken Festival in London, Kentucky on September 27th. And I'll actually be doing that with a couple players. So that'll be really fun. It'll be a good challenge for me because like I said, I've been doing all these shows acoustically lately. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, just working along and doing what I love to do most.
All right, self-titled album from Laurel Lewis this Friday, August the 3rd. Make sure you check it out on all the streaming platforms. And while you're waiting on that, she's got the 3 singles out already. Um, so that she's got Imaginary Lover, If You Want Me to Move On, and Room Without a View. All 3 of those songs will be included on the record, and it's going to be a part of this Friday as well. But you can listen to them individually right now. You ain't even got to wait till the album come out. You can hear those songs right now while you wait on the release. So be on the lookout for that. So, Miss Lewis, it is so good to reconnect with you. I'm happy that everything is going pretty good for you, and I'm excited for this release. And I will be glued to my iMac at midnight, August the 3rd, and we'll be giving this a full length listen. I mean, I don't know if you checked out my IG stories with the Music Monday stuff that I've been doing, but I have been playing your songs on there. And now that this project coming out, I'm gonna be playing more of your music. So, just giving you a heads up.
That's so great to hear. Thank you so much for always being supportive of my career. Even when my first album as Madison came out in 2017, I really appreciate your support and your kindness over the years.
I appreciate you, and congratulations on this project. I'm looking forward to it. You enjoy your album release week. We ain't even gonna call it day. We're gonna call it album release week, counting down to the big day. So enjoy this week. Enjoy the Friday in particular, and we'll, oh, that Aircorn Tavern. That was like the first time we've seen each other in years. So hopefully it won't be another few years before we cross paths again.
I sure hope not. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah, so yeah, for sure. You enjoy your day, enjoy your week. Thanks again, Gloria.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
All right, you too. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.